That's kind of a weird U2 vibe.
I hear something very different than that. It's a band, by the way, out of Denmark by the name of Mythic Sunship. I hear, sounds like they went to a yard sale and they picked up all the guitar effects from the Yardbirds. Which is not a bad way to go, except it's 2021. Like, hey, I appreciate that 50-year-old sound you boys is rocking.
Always appreciate the good sound. Better than what we were listening to before that.
Same band, though.
Really?
Yeah. They have a weird psychedelic, like late 60s, early 70s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because the other one had like a weird like trumpet or sax thing going on, and
You have an issue with that in music, don't you?
with brass in a metal band, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
I
like
gotta-
brass and aggressive music.
If it's brass and say, I don't know, a ska band, I'm all for it.
What about like I Still Believe? Even that's not really a rockin' song.
Yeah.
Tim Capitello, the cunt that stole my money. Yeah, I still hold grudges.
Oh,
I mean, he was the one that made that a rock song, and he's fucking playing a sax on it. But there's really not a whole lot of guitar in that song.
sax it's so very specific on where it works and where it doesn't. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's fine, man. If you love sax music, fucking listen to it all day long and beat off. I don't care.
I can't imagine someone choosing that. That's just that instrument. It's like, that's my jam.
Yeah.
That's my baby boy.
It's an odd instrument. It's right up there with like, I don't know, like people like banjos.
Vuvuzela.
Like that's a great noisemaker you got there.
Banjos are cool only when certain people are playing banjos.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not great if you add it to something else.
Yeah. Kind of like the instrument that nobody plays anymore in the clarinet, unless you're in like a school
Or if you're Kenny G.
orchestra. Is that clarinet?
I have no idea.
No,
An
his is
oboe?
that's an alto sax, sir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Looks like a cock.
Well, Kenny G probably it is, but yeah.
I wonder what that guy looks like right now. I'm going to look.
I don't know. I'm assuming still has that curly, girly looking hair, right?
That's honestly, he has to. That's probably his logo, is the outline of that hairstyle.
Although, front man from Counting Crows, though, he shaved his head off, and that dude had dreadlocks for fucking 30 years.
God, he looks exactly the same, only is aging like Tiny Tim.
Oh, poorly. Very poorly.
Real bad. Still has the curly hair, but he has more forehead these days.
Older you get, the more you look like an aged lesbian.
Oh, man.
Which is fine if you're a lady. If you're not, that's a problem.
I guess you're right. That is, yeah, okay. I now see. I don't know why I never saw it as like a saxophone style thing.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking at it as like, fuck yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Between that guy and his fucking sax of whatever variety it is, and back when that guy was big, so was that guy Zamfir that had like the glass fucking flute or something like that.
You know, we could do a whole podcast on just cheesy fucking...
On shitty music,
On
yeah.
shitty musicians, especially ones that are trying to sling shit. You remember Esteban? The
Vaguely.
guy that would always sell, and he had the long fingernails, but selling like $150 solid spruce top guitars at like 3 a.m. to people that don't know how to play guitar. It was rough, like just because you get the guitar in the beginning video, and everybody's like, I can play Smoke on the Water.
Right. Sounds like Fender grabbed that business model then. So
Yeah, that was kind of also back when it was real big to get the gig pack that had the guitar, amplifier, and a bag. You had everything you needed
For
to
a
start
gig?
rocking.
So get out and start making money.
You'd usually find these at Hastings and most pawn shops.
Yeah. And like you'd said, 3 a.m. infomercials. So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he would always emphasize the solid spruce top. Like that was supposed to be the biggest selling point of this guitar.
it's just fine. It's the plastic around the sides and the back I would have an issue with.
Yeah, it's like that. That's great that's the wood made on that top. What about the rest of it?
Yeah. But,
Mother of pearl inlay?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be fine. Mother Pearl's not exactly expensive unless you start going
not
crazy.
It's not a crazy thing to have on a fretboard.
Yeah, it's Like I said, unless you start going crazy and you want some very specific inlays, then that becomes real work, and that gets real expensive.
I want PRS birds on every fret.
Fuck them.
If you're Mark Tremonti, that's exactly what you're getting.
God, I was thinking, I thought real hard about a PRS. What was that, about 15 months ago or so? And I was about all but sold. Like, well, they're gorgeous guitars. They've got to be solid, right? Yeah. they're gorgeous guitars. That much can be said of them. But you're probably going to want to change pickups and everything else. Everything I read, and I was like, man, I don't want to buy a brand new guitar and have to immediately upgrade shit.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that's why I went ESP. But
fucking good call on that. I've only played a PRS once in my life.
Yeah,
I had a buddy that had one. He was like he uses student loan money to get high end guitars.
That's what it's for, right?
I guess I used mine to buy a flat screen TV back when like a 32-incher was fucking $1,500 and weighed 80 pounds.
I was an undergrad and took out a student loan and immediately went down to the local Radio Shack / furniture place / appliance place and bought a fucking direct TV dish.
Those were the days back when you could just go buy the shit and you had to set it up yourself. Yeah. And then you give DirecTV a call, like, hook it up.
Yeah.
Hook it up, Snack.
I have a tuner, and I bought a new TV at the time. It was like a 26-inch CRT, which was huge for me at the time.
You have to pump that volume so you could hear that signal strength as you turn like, boo, boo.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days of living out in the shit sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, and you had to have a phone cable plugged into it, which means you had to have a landline. It perpetuated a lot of ancient technology.
Which means you had to have a phone.
Well, and as it turns out, you didn't have to.
No, that was just for like pay-per-view shit.
If you wanted to buy pay-per-view, though, you had to have it.
It was that or you had to call them Hoovers.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days, man. I still have both mine, like, up.
You know,
they don't work.
It's funny what sounds used to not bother me at all. I wouldn't even think twice about it. One of those is a goddamn modem sound. I encountered somebody in public the other day had a modem sound set up as their ringtone.
Ooh, that's a bad call.
Yeah, and I thought, what the fuck is this? That's, God, it seems like it was not that long ago, but man, I think I officially went on broadband, even way out here in the sticks, as you put it. I think I was on broadband in 2005.
You early adopted motherfucker.
Yeah, but
wow.
I mean, I had a modem up until then.
I was getting free dial-up from the high school till about 2010.
Should be noted, you graduated well before that.
Yeah. I'm class of 00.
Yeah.
Thank you very little.
The old double nuts.
That's right. Double aught. Fuck off. Oh, God, all this talk of ancient technology has made me sleepy.
Yeah. a little triggered
That's
right
right.
now.
That's right. I feel something.
Got to adjust some volumes here real fast. We didn't do a show last week, clearly, as all of you know. Because we've gone down to, every other week now?
We tried. Unless we have an itch.
But, yeah, my brother Daryl sends me a message like 6:05.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm like, gotcha? Gotcha what? I got yours right here.
You ain't got shit.
And then I was like, oh, this motherfucker's trying to get a ding onto the podcast, like an infamous fellow from Lubbock does.
Yes. We dare not even say his name.
Yeah, no, I don't want to invoke his name. It'd probably be like fucking Voldemort, right? And he'd all of a sudden start showing up.
Oh, we're fucked. Yeah. It's over.
No, we said Voldemort. The other guy, the fellow's name in question, I'm not going to bring up.
That's right. Voldemort's not real. Thank God. Thank God.
The other guy, unfortunately, is. So.
Thank God.
Guy I might hear from probably once a day, but man, definitely on Fridays at like 6:15, right when we're hitting a stride. There it is. Bing, bing. Because it's two dings. Because first has to send a meme and then explain it to me because apparently he thinks I'm some kind of an idiot. So
which always makes a joke better.
Yeah.
Always makes a joke better when you have to fucking explain it.
If you think a meme is funny, just send it and leave it alone.
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you're going to throw in a little anecdotal double dinger, make it a good one.
If it's like an inside, like,
add to it. Don't just be like, so you see how that her legs are wide open?
Yeah.
You know what that means, right?
We had a really weird serendipitous one here a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the Spice Girls for some fucking reason. I think it was like, which one would you do, right? Something like that.
No, we were trying to remember their names.
Yeah. But I think that evolved into.
I think it's when I said ginger spice was mine.
Yeah,
that's when it evolved into.
But then very next day, I saw some fucking meme that had something to do with it, and I don't even remember what the meme was. And I just said, well, here's some serendipity for you. And then I sent the meme, and I felt like an asshole because like I shouldn't have to do that, but I did think it was bizarre, just the timing of it.
Hey, you know what? Because it's not like we're actively talking about the Spice Girls here on the Reg.
Right.
They're not patron saints of the Mead Hall, although they are filing the paperwork.
They're on a long list of people that have not joined those ranks yet.
Lita Ford, we still have to hear back from her.
Yeah.
Nita needs company on there.
Lita Ford, she's still alive?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, she is. Wendy O is not.
No, Wendy O ate shit many moons ago.
Yeah.
Golly, Wendy O. Williams.
Woo. So I got a weird one. I don't want to launch right. Oh, and by the way, it's the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
It is.
I had a weird. Speaking of serendipity, so I'm sitting here fucking off a while ago, just scanning around the internets to see if there was anything interesting I could bring to the table on the show. And in the process, well, you know what? Let me back it up even further. Is there a food that you would be embarrassed that people know that you enjoy, but it doesn't fucking matter because you're going to keep eating it anyway?
A food?
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure food?
Something you'd be embarrassed if people knew.
An embarrassing food?
Yeah, because I've got one. And I know it's trash food, but...
Does, like, fast food count?
Maybe.
But you're talking like a home, like something you have to make at home that you probably wouldn't make for you and your friends.
No. I don't. No, I eat. There's nobody at the house when I eat this. So
fuck, man. No, I can't think of anything that I dig. Like pork rind, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But
pork rinds are fucking delicious. If anybody says otherwise, you find me in the street.
You'll catch these hands.
That's right, and they will reek of chicharrones.
So I'm sitting around eating fucking Vienna sausages a while ago.
You know what? Okay. All right. Now that you've said that, I'm like, oh, I got one.
Which everybody will talk shit. And they'll go, oh, that's fucking gross. Not really. It's bologna rolled up into a different form, really.
Yeah. The texture is a little weird.
Yeah.
But it still leaves that similar film on the roof of your mouth, just like bologna does.
Yeah. And it's something I can share with the dog because I know he'll eat it.
Do you mush it up in the can?
No.
You take out each sausage.
I use a butter knife, go down the middle, pull out, extract the individual sausage, slice it in half, throw it on cracker. I'm a little...
That's not bad.
I'm, in order just to make it even seem plausibly like fucking civilized, I use a saucer.
Man. Okay.
So here's the disturbing thing, though. I'm sitting around eating those goddamn things, and I stumble across a story about an MMA fighter that fucking lost a finger in a goddamn fight right when I'm throwing down on a fucking Vienna sausage. Yeah.
Oh, man.
An Olympic wrestler, homeboy, loses a finger in a fight.
Yeah.
And they didn't know where it went initially.
Couldn't go far. Because it was right in his glove.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I need to learn lessons not to open some links, especially links that say, this is clearly disturbing. So,
yeah.
I was like, well, let me see that shit. And I went, bah.
Of course, I'm the asshole. So I'm like, click, click.
So, that was kind of a weird, speaking of serendipity, I think about a guy losing a finger as I'm mowing down on a fucking little tiny miniature fucking little sausage.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
Yeah.
I now that you say Vienna sausages in junior high, my jam was a fried Spam sandwich with mustard and pickles.
I can't say that I haven't had something similar. I don't think I've ever done it with pickles, but yeah, that was kind of a standing thing when I was a teenager. My mother would have in the pantry. You could always count on there'd be multiple cans of Spam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's still a few cans in my house as we speak.
Well, and the problem with that was, it was great if it was Spam. Well, not great, but comparatively. Because sometimes she'd save a few dollars and go get Treet.
Oh, shit. Really?
The Treet.
Treat.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's like Spam is kind of bad enough. But then some, like I think it was Armour or somebody, decided, let's go out there and make our own knockoff of this shit.
What would the Bar S version be called?
Treet.
Shit.
The problem I have with Treet, and the reason I will never, ever even consider, unless I'm like starving and I can either eat people I was involved in a plane crash with or a can of Treet, I might go Treet then. But
what if the pull tabs broke?
I'm trying to hold back a gag reflex right now.
Oh, shit.
It was after my dad had passed, so I'm probably 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
And there it was, as a normal thing, crack open the can of Spam. Well, this time it was Treat, whatever. Crack it open because, and you got to kind of take a knife and pull, scoop that jelly off, right?
You rarely have that problem with Spam. I have to be honest, never had Treat. My family lived good.
Yeah. That shit. I mean, it's that same stuff you get like you see on the top of like a can of dog food,
Yes.
That weird waxy fat looking shit. I don't know.
The hell it's
yeah. I mean, back in the day, I think they used to be considered kind of a delicacy. I think they called it aspic, but yeah, it was gross. Well, the thing is, so I get it out and go running a knife through it to make slices out of it so I can throw it in a frying pan and encountered weird resistance. Not a lot. Just a quick little bit of resistance. Got that slice off, threw it in a pan and looked down, and there was a pork hair. Thick, coarse.
No!
A thick, coarse pig hair.
No!
Yeah. And that was the last time I've ever eaten Treat.
Man, oh God. I think I've mentioned it. The fucking pig roast I went to. They also did a goat, which I immediately went for the goat because it didn't look like a goat when they served it.
Cabrito is always good.
The fucking pig that they had roasted, they kind of just quartered it and threw cubes of pig meat into the tray.
Yeah.
But like I could see the raised follicle.
Yeah.
Like no hair, but where the hair used to be, I could still see it. And I'm like, I'm out.
Is that the way they do it around here when they put it like in the ground and shit?
I fucking guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, I'm out. But a full-blown hair?
Yes, sir.
What, do you eat it for good luck?
No.
Pick your teeth with it?
No. I'm reasonably sure I just went, nope, and grabbed the piece out of the frying pan, back into the can, into the trash.
I thought you were going to say, and then into the fridge for somebody else to fucking
so leave it there for my brother Daryl. That's the
how that pig hair, motherfucker.
But yeah, that's
oh, dude, that's gnarly.
Yeah,
that is gnarly.
And I mean, there are a few things that are just like a pig hair because it's really coarse and thick. You could actually fucking kind of maybe even actually stab somebody with a pork hair.
Why they
with a
blowtorch
hair.
those motherfuckers before we eat them.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's not to crispify the skin pre-10. It's fucking meant to make sure none of that man hair's on there.
Must have been an ingrown hair, huh?
Oh, that is ripe.
Yep. So how's your week been?
My fucking week's been great, Holmes, compared to finding pig hair in a fucking can of Smeat, or not Smeat.
That's the next one. We'll put out our own knockoff that's even worse than Treat, and it'll just be called Smeat.
I'm not buying anything that's it is meat, but we're spelling it like you're meeting something. No, thank you. You've already lost me.
Man, I'm thinking of all kinds of different product lines because that'll be great right alongside the feminine hygiene spray I thought up, the Sprunt,
Little sprun up the front. Let's get to the picks.
All right, let's call her a day, huh? Let's pack it up.
Oh, end on a high note. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, you actually have a lot of people when you quit working at the hotel, which I know is your former boss. I don't know why,
which one?
It popped up on a thing today that she's now in a relationship. And like, oh, I was like, is that the same one? I went and looked like, oh yeah, that's the same one.
Which one? The most recent?
Yeah.
Oh, well, whoever. All right.
Yeah. It's she's got a hell of a bunch of cleavage.
Oh, you've just made me remember something, dude.
And the reason why that cleavage is so pronounced is because she has a boiler that kind of pushes them titties upward to the skies, and you look and go, wow. Well, then you see like a full picture, like, bull. Yeah. It's like I don't like to be that guy. I don't like to be that like superficial and shallow. What the fuck am I talking?
it's
I usually am, but I mean,
it's someone that doesn't factor into your existence.
No,
so it's easy to just kind of piece it out like that. But you mentioned that, and I totally forgot about something that did happen this week at work.
Yeah.
So, of course, whenever I'm talking about my job now, the job is not the cause of the grief. There's really no grief here. This is just like a weird full circle tale.
Yeah,
So,
great business if it wasn't for all the customers, right?
well, I gotta admit, even here the customers are pretty all right.
Wow.
You know,
All right.
yeah. There's a few, but that's what they do.
There's some trash humans going to dispensaries, not just yours,
Right.
Dispensaries around the world, but
So an individual comes in to pick up some stuff, and as he's getting his payment out for me, I noticed in his wallet he has a Wyndham Rewards room key.
oh yeah,
I'm like, no, that couldn't be. That's probably one somewhere else. I mean, why would anybody have one of those? But I saw it and was having weird hotel flashbacks.
right.
Like all of a sudden I look down, I'm wearing my Super 8 polo,
Ugh.
and I'm in the shit lobby, and I'm hearing people just yelling for me. And then split second later, I'm back, and he takes it out. I'm like, oh shit. I almost want to ask him, you staying in town? But then again, I don't want to I don't care.
You mean that fancy Super 8 by Wyndham?
The guy takes guard out and says, would you mind throwing that away for me? And I was like, yeah, sure thing, no problem. Throw it away.
You immediately start stomping on it in the trash.
I'm looking at it fucking getting my lighter out and fucking doing that. And I just had to say, it's like, so, that wouldn't happen to be for the key to the Super 8 here in town, is it? It's like, yeah. Actually, if you want to get into room 223, that key probably still works. I was like, oh, boy.
If you're up for ditching
And
work and going
then-
for some hot sex.
This guy just begins to fucking trash the place. I mean, nothing's good. Nothing is good.
Like harder than you.
Harder, yeah. And I didn't pay to be there. They paid me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and it's a story I have told on this fucking podcast, I almost want to say since its inception, the Pigeon Hole
Yeah.
is still fucking there.
Yeah, I mean, you get shit on as you're walking in, right?
Over 2 fucking years
Right.
that it's been there. It was funny because when the guy was saying it and saying everything wrong with it, I'm like, do they still have the pigeonhole there in the awning? It's like, still there. Pigeon shit everywhere. That's why I'm not there anymore. And it was just so weird because it was like I was seeing that job through a window.
Yeah.
On the other side, the grass is green. There are butterflies and good times. And then I'm staring back into this fucking abyss of this lobby and this shit ginger man just with long hair and a big-ass beard and no fucking patience for nobody.
Right.
And I'm glad he's gone because he looked very unhappy.
Well, imagine the shit that they caught over at your old job then. If he was that angry at some random in town.
The 2 times I went back to that place to get my tax info, there was someone there complaining. Which, like you say, it happens. But yeah, but if it happens every time I went there, which was just twice, that's too much.
Right. That should be twice too many, right?
Yeah. But that's all. And that's why I'm fucking just so glad. So glad that shit is in my rear view, dude.
But but the thing is, then somebody they get a bad experience at Super 8, they're like, fuck you people, I'm going to the Holiday Inn Express. Yeah, owned by the same fucking people.
That's the big problem. They don't realize that you're still, unless you, and even when you get out of this town, there's a few places in Clovis that you're like, I'm going to go to the Super 8 in Clovis. They're still getting your money, motherfucker.
And in Fort Sumner, and
Fort
So
Sumner.
if it's a Super 8 within 100 miles, it's probably owned by the same fucking people.
Don't pay attention to the sign like it being a Super 8 Holiday Inn or Best Western. Pay attention to who it's owned and operated by.
Right.
Because you'll start seeing names that you've seen before.
What about that one over in Muleshoe, like Shamrock Inn or something like that?
No, I think the Irish Inn.
Irish Inn.
The Irish Inn. That that place looks all right for a motel.
See, I actually prefer to be able to park right in front of my motel room. But I'm kind of a trash-ass human in that regard.
I got if you're a smoker, having it's all outdoor access is actually pretty nice.
Right.
Because you're basically going outside your house.
Of course, that's usually when people get murdered, but
Yes, that's the only problem I have. Like if the Super 8, here had outdoor entry rooms, I probably would have never hired on to work there.
Right.
Like, you can go fuck yourself. I need you to sign this saying if you get raped, mugged, or murdered in the street, it ain't my fault.
All at the same time.
And I'm not sure what order.
I don't know. Man took my pants down. Another one had his hand in the pocket. The other one had a gun to my head.
Well, and that would be like, well, that's just a normal day at the Super 8.
It's a Sunday at the Super 8 right there.
Sunday at the Happy Easter, bitches.
Oh, yeah, that's this weekend, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking work either, bro. 2-day weekend.
A 2-day weekend.
And that's why I'm already like 3 beers deep.
Right.
Because
you
I'm
actually
an
have already had
overachiever.
more beers than I have. I was being angry at a fucking inanimate object when you got here. So.
I get angry at my dong sometimes, too.
Sometimes. Hey, yeah, it's not that inanimate. So you were, so we were hanging out last night and throwing down a few and talking about the weekend and shit like that and talking about the show. You'd said you had a work-related tale for the good people this time around, and it wasn't the hotel-related one either, unless I'm really putting you on the spot.
Hold on.
Because you said, dude, I've got a story for the show, and it involves my job. And I hadn't heard that. Fuck. It's
I
6-7
think
months.
it was that. I think it was that.
Just that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was really the only thing of note that happened at my job this week.
Yeah.
But that happened on Tuesday, and I wanted to make sure I got on here just because it was Super 8 related.
Right. Yeah, I can't necessarily complain, although I'm a stickler for really good quality audio. And one of our processors went out. Well, not one of, the main fucking processor that keeps all the levels where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because when we dump stuff in, it's some stuff will be way too hot, some stuff will be way low, but that processor will fucking bring it all into line.
That's really cool.
It'll bias every bit of it and put it on the same line. It'll take all the clips out, all the S's, everything else. It takes it all out.
Really? That's really cool.
Well, it's a fucking $10,000 processor, too.
Oh,
so.
and that's all it does.
Yeah.
God
yeah.
damn.
So it went out. So we've been using one that we can't fucking tune it. We can't do anything to it. We have to leave it as is because it's just a rental until a new one comes in. And that one is basically like working without a fucking processor at all.
Dude, so it does nothing.
Virtually very little.
Wow, man, that blows.
So all week at work, I'm constantly riding levels, trying to keep some things up where it should be and pulling other ones down. And it just sounds terrible. But anyway, so fingers crossed, but here in about a week, I should have a new processor in. So,
you know, and you were using that like today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I have to be honest.
For the last 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I mean, I'd like to think I have a good ear for shit that sounds good. It's hard to notice on the listener end.
Yeah, that's because I'm having to work everything off of VU meters, so making sure to keep it, from pegging, keeping it out of the red as much as I can, but having to fucking dial it in manually. That's a pain in the dick for every individual production element.
Yeah. It's easy for you and me because I'm just right here like, diddle,
right.
diddle,
yeah.
and we're good.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sitting there moving sliders back and forth and shit.
Going old school.
Ugh. I'm done with old school. I'm about ready for...
So you going to be working the board next week?
Well,
next week.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that it's supposed to be in sometime like late next week. So we'll see what fucking happens.
Hell yeah, dude. I hope you get it because that sounds like a shitty job to do on the fly.
Well, the problem is it makes me angry from scratch.
It's nice homemade rage.
And I already know that I have some anger issues. I recognize it for what it is. But usually it's a slow build. No, that one's like fucking 0 to 60. Like right there, fucking 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's good shit.
All right. Let's see. We got any other tales, anything outside the scope of Mead Metal MMA?
No.
All right. Mead update for the week. We have like basically just a plain batch, which will probably eventually become long ships. The same one we mentioned last time around. The time before that, it's about time for us to move that into secondary fermentation, get a carboy set up, move it over to that. And I think probably about 3-4 weeks, and it's good to go.
Yeah, and that is backup for the barrel, right?
It is, yeah, because now granted. Seemed like the first time around that barrel like didn't last a month, seemingly. And then the second time we filled it up, with the Green Man, It lasted a little longer. As a matter of fact, that's where we're at right now, I think. And it's
I think we're at less than half.
Yeah, but by the time that batch is done, then I think we'll be moving it directly into a near-empty barrel. So,
yes. And whatever don't fit, we will drink.
Other than that, found I forgot all about the Holly King. We haven't even labeled it or anything, right? I don't think.
No.
We got like a box in there with like 8 or 9 bottles in it, unlabeled. No telling what the fuck it is. I think it's Holly King.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's unlabeled, it has to be Holly King. Especially if it's less than 12.
I can't think of anything else it could be necessarily.
We got a Troublemaker labeled.
I do have 1 bottle of Green Man back there that I'm reserving at some point whenever we have a cool day again and not in the fucking 80s or 90s. But I'll probably do another rack of ribs and break that shit out. Although I don't necessarily have to. I don't really have to uncork that because I got a barrel full of it right here.
Yeah.
Although the green chili element has kind of went away.
Yeah, that is true, but oak will do that.
And I've got an ancient fucking bottle of batch 1 in there.
Of course you do.
Like from 2017 or 18?
Damn.
2018.
Damn.
Yeah, well, and it's one, and you wanted me to hang on to yours too, and I did for a couple weeks until you wanted it back. That's a couple of years ago.
Yeah. That's right. That's how I roll.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's that's our Mead update for the week.
Metal update, nothing from LJ.
That little asshole.
I know that motherfucker.
Well, he's been.
Does he know how hard it is to do this job?
Did you catch his April Fool's thing and
the rap?
Yeah,
I had to give that a thumbs up. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Did really good for a mumble rap. That was pretty mumbly.
Right. Yeah, it's he's got some talents that are interesting and diverse, to say the least.
I guess he's signed on to some fucking group of dudes that like does rap.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because I mean that guy is that's he's got a couple of loves when it comes to music. One's metal, and the other is fucking rap. I mean that's who the guy is. You don't get you don't get the moniker of Lowdown from playing metal guitar. You know.
Very true. Very true.
And then apparently, speaking of, well, I guess I always think of it as rap, but apparently it's not. It's all spectrums. But going to be doing another one of those big things out in the sticks coming up here. Next month?
Oh, out in Milton Sand, yeah.
That Ruben's already pretty hot on. That guy was at another fucking show last night.
I know that fucking guy is enjoying life, dude.
But I can't fault him after this past year. Dude, as long as you're not fucking hurting somebody else's shit, help yourself.
We had a coworker that took her vacay, went to Cali for a week.
Why not?
I was like, fuck, that's awesome. Which is now getting my hopes up for Deftones in September in Las Vegas at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, that's Deftones tickets already bought.
Yeah.
Vegas,
matter of fact, I got a payment in my ass pocket for that shit.
That is still Vegas is still
Vegas is an evolving creature.
Yeah, I'm about 65% sure that'll happen.
Yeah. Well,
a little above 50, but not at 75% yet.
I gotta go. I have to go.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a little longer than that for me, but you know.
Yeah, I really want the fucking group of us, you, me, Ruben, fucking go down there, and maybe even fucking Brett if wanted to meet us down there.
Right.
Man, that would be a kick-ass couple days in Sin Siena.
Yep. Which, I mean, but that's the thing, too, is that because of the nature of how my holiday break kind of works, I mean, we wouldn't be able to be there on your birthday.
Yeah.
But, I
don't give a fuck about that. It's like, I can celebrate a birthday without it actually I rarely celebrate my birthday on my day of birth because I'm usually sleeping through half of it.
Hell yeah, because it's New Year's Day.
Yeah, it's like, fuck that. That's the day off.
Yeah.
So, it is to me to do the metal part.
Good man.
So... Rona. Let's see. You remember the Robert Fripp, the King Crimson?
Yeah.
King Crimson guitar player and his wife doing little short YouTube videos and her basically showing her tits.
Right.
They did ZZ Top this week. Give me all your lovin'. You know, I don't know how old she is, but that lady is fucking hot for an older gal.
Yeah.
I am really impressed. And she doesn't look, I'm sure she's had some shit done. But I don't think she's had a lot.
Right.
The tits, maybe.
Well, King Crimson, they got to be, early 50s or so, mid-50s?
I guess. I don't know. Like, I never really listened to Crimson.
Yeah. That was because, I mean, shit, man, that was back in when I was in high school kind of fucking affair there.
Yeah. Let's see. System of a Down guitarist.
Those guys are almost always in our fucking metal
Shares
list.
a gun cover of BYOB, says guns are essential tools for self-defense, which is a fact, but you're just going to make people mad. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to be like, you know what, he's right. Like, we never thought this before.
Isn't it a little bit weird, though, is that, man, where everything was at like 30, 40 years ago, fuck back then, I mean, join 4-H if you wanted to go out and shoot a 22 because they had their rifle competition.
Right. Yeah, it's just, it's weird. It's weird when people say things that are like, well, duh, dude. Well, I mean, yeah. No, it's not like we didn't know this.
Yeah, but then you got people that are impossibly opposed to gun ownership. Like, well, you know, we aren't going to get all these school shootings done out of the way until no one has a gun. Well, that's bullshit because the fucking the argument is realistic is that it's a funny thing with criminals. They don't observe the law, right? So
it's weird, right?
You know, so it's like, so reasonably, even that rationale, that reasoning is fucking terrible because that means, oh, so if you legally own a gun and these people don't want you to have one, well, then they want to take it away from you. All right, cool. But they aren't going to do that with the criminals because the criminals don't follow the law. Assholes, as they may be.
Yeah, make the laws stricter. It's like they were following them before. I don't know what happened.
It's bizarre. The System of a Down seems to be in our shit every time.
Man, they won't shut the fuck up.
And this time,
the bass player comes out like, man, I just want to play music.
This time,
all other three are busy. Serge is saying we'll never agree on anything. Fucking Darren is like, well, I'm just doing my own music and guns are cool. And John's like, Trump's fucking man. What happened to these motherfuckers? Chavo's the only one that's like, can't we just like be a band, man?
Yeah, that's the case of a band really. I don't know. Is it because they reached such an impasse on the music that they're wanting to fucking do that then they find tangential shit to bitch about?
I think that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, System of a Down have not put out a new album in like 16 fucking years because it all boils down to that almighty dollar. It's always been an argument about fucking royalty fees. And when you're a big band, I feel like you can figure out how that pie should get cut pretty fucking easily. Apparently not if you're Armenian. It's just a real bummer. But then I think, is it?
Yeah.
Because, let's see. System of a Down put out their first album, self-titled. Great album. Great album.
Yeah.
Put out fucking Toxicity. They're probably their peak. Best album they ever put out.
Right.
Put out a smaller album, Steal This Album, the one that was leaked on Napster, and then they fucking just basically did the songs proper and released it on their own. Pretty smart. Goes a little downhill after that. The Hypnotize, Mesmerize dual album thing didn't really do it for me. And that's when they called it a day, and I'm like, okay. Those weren't great albums, and you're shutting it down now.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but whatever.
So that's when we had the natural assumptions. Well, they're done. That's we don't have to worry about that shit anymore. And especially once they had started having real internal disagreements,
yeah.
They started becoming real public. I'm like, okay, we'll definitely never hear anything from them. And then they turn right around, 6 months ago, and crank out 2 singles that they're not going to tour to support or put on a record or anything like that. They're just singles.
Right. Let's see. Got one more thing here, and then we can advance to Chingasos. There's a lot of shit. Metal Hammer, fairly highly regarded metal magazine.
Power Metal, right?
That's a magazine.
Oh, that
it ain't a band. It's a magazine.
What was I fucking thinking of? I'll have to consider that. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I had to have some beer. So they put out an album. Hey, got me going. They put out their 100 greatest songs of the century so far.
Okay.
I love shit like this because it's never right.
Sure.
And lists are never right. They're never right.
Right.
There's not a list like, yep, there you go, you got it. So of course, we're not going to go through all 100 here.
No.
Just quickly going through the top 10. top 10 is a Rammstein song. Kind of
That's
weird.
bizarre.
Kind of weird.
Because I would almost...
Metal Hammer is based out of Germany.
Okay. So that might give them some legitimacy then. Because I thought My Chemical Romance is probably in there somewhere. Probably Kill Switch Engage is probably in there.
They are at number 16.
Kill Switch?
Oh, I only see it because it's like I have it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, they're at number 16 with My Last Serenade. Great jam.
All right. Well, maybe that magazine's actually got their shit together then, because an American publication would have had those 1 and 2 probably.
Number 9, Gojira, Stranded.
Okay. Well, all right.
We're putting Gojira on the back burner for now. If they play with Deftones in September, I'm going to give them a shot live, because you will win me over live more than you will with your album.
Right.
Nightwish. Bleh.
Yeah, they're not the best band out of Finland, but what are you going to do?
Well, that fucking back when they had that gal, Floor Jansen, they're all right.
Yeah.
Number 7, Lamb of God, Redneck. I like that. Good pick. Number 6, Mastodon, Blood and Thunder.
I agree with the band, not the pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, but at the end of the day, it is a metal song about Moby Dick.
I mean, Crack the Sky is their best shit, really.
I could think of 6 other songs.
Yeah.
Number 5, Trivium, Pull Harder on the Wing of Your Martyr. That's off their first album.
Yeah,
that was back when Heafy was all about the screamies.
A little shocked that Trivium made their list. Okay.
Number 4, Ghost, Square Hammer.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Well,
if Ghost was going to be on there could have been a few songs that were like, that is a good song. I'm not a big fan of the band anymore, but that's a good song. Not that one. Number 3, Deftones, Changing the House of Flies.
I can get behind that.
And I was like, oh, shit. That is, 01. And number 2, Slipknot, Duality.
Okay.
Again, they're anything off of Iowa could have had that fucking spot. And number 1, we were just talking about him, System of a Down, Chop Suey. The greatest rock metal song of the century so far.
According to this magazine.
Immediately disagree, but again, these lists are never right.
I hate trying to say, well, this one is clearly the best of a century, so far.
That's a tall fucking order.
It is, man. Because there's any given day I might have a fucking completely different take on it,
Wardruna at number 50. Kind of a weird pick.
That's not metal, but okay.
No, it's not. Unless Helvegen is some weird guitar track that I haven't heard yet.
It's not. It is. That's the Nordic music with fucking traditional instruments. It's not metal.
Yeah. Number 86, Strap Me on Lad Love. 84, Coheed and Cambria, Welcome Home. Let's see. Yeah. Children Bodom, 69.
Buddy. Any Days of the New or anything like that in there?
That was last century, bro.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You show your age, sir.
Yeah. Well,
I was jamming Days of the New work today.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and last night.
God damn. Been a 24-hour Days of the New affair. Well, I think we should get to that MMA.
Yeah, let's get right into that, yeah.
So let's quickly talk about last week.
Okay.
And what we saw. Because
the Stipe
it'll take about
Nagano fight.
Yeah, really the fight card as a whole. Overall, what was your take?
About for a pay-per-view, I thought, well, that's a lot of money for a lot of mediocrity, right?
Yeah. I mean, the main event you knew was going to deliver one way or the other.
Right.
I mean, usually, but I mean, shit, we get Derek Lewis and Ngannou sometimes, and it doesn't. It delivered. Francis Ngannou is the scariest man alive right now.
Sure.
And John Jones was, of course, trying to parlay some cash.
As you do.
Apparently, about 19 hours ago on Twitter, fucking John Jones, I had a great dinner and the best conversation I've had with Dana in a very long time. We got the deal done. Date to be announced soon.
Oh, great. Okay. Because he was actually like 2-3 days ago saying, just fucking cut me.
Yeah, I heard him on the Steve-O podcast, basically just fucking burying Dana White in the UFC. While Steve-O was like taking up for him, he's like, well, I'm a fan and I want to be able to keep going to fights.
Well, the problem is this. So Endeavor, the owner, like 50-something%, but they want to be 100% owner and go public. Well, in order to do so in the run-up to that, they have to start kind of revealing some financial information.
Right.
The UFC is rolling in fucking cash.
Fuck yeah, they
are. And now this is after Dana saying, man, it's a big payroll, it's a lot of costs, there's a lot of... Yeah, I'm not doubting that. I'm not debating it. The problem I have is the fucking... Where's all that money going? apparently do Endeavor, because Endeavor had their fingers in everything. Now they're fully just in UFC, nothing else.
Oh, wow.
They've divested basically almost everything. They're going all in on the UFC. You know why? Because that's the biggest moneymaker they have at 51% ownership.
Damn.
Which means you give some fighters like fucking John Jones, you can pay them. Go ahead and pay him.
Yeah. You pay Connor, you can pay Johnny. John, even though Thiago Santos' fight and the Reyes fight, little tough. I mean, dude's he's 33. He can't possibly be on the downhill at 33.
You wouldn't think so, although he's a champ at, 23? So
yeah, that's true. It's not like he's only been champ for a couple of years.
Right.
I hope the fight holds. I mean, that would be the biggest fight. Not like, as far as like showcase shit, fuck that. I'm just talking as a fight. That is the biggest fight to make.
I also thought it was kind of bullshit that, and I think it was brought on by Dana White, but certainly the fans always snap it up and then they put it out there like it's gospel, trying to say that John Jones was scared to fight Francis Ngannou. Who comes to John Jones's fucking who's got his back in this? Fucking Daniel Cormier comes out and says,
"How weird,
bro? He is not scared. He is doing this. This is a public negotiation."
Clearly, you're new.
Like, who the fuck? Like this man, this fucking guy who's been a professional fucking fighter since he was in his late teens. Oh no! Yeah. Now he's scared to fight somebody. Fuck you.
No, yeah, that's an easy excuse and rarely a true one. I don't really think Jermaine Duran to me was afraid to fight Cyborg.
Yeah,
afraid enough to drop that belt. Well, it was taken from her.
Well, yeah. They're like, you're going to have to fight or else you're going to lose your belt. She's like, yeah, I ain't fighting.
John Jones, Francis Ngannou, though, that will make that right there. John Jones, I don't think has ever broken 1 million pay-per-view buys for his main events. He'll do it with that one.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And it won't be just him. I'll be 50-50 with Ngannou.
You think they're going to aim for an international fight week? July? Because July is where they're putting the Poirier-McGregor fight.
Yeah, but that's probably going to be your main event. I don't know if you want title fights sucking hind teeth, especially John Jones. That's your main event, dude.
Man, I think your main event is the heavyweight title.
Oh, so you think they put on like they're doing with Diaz and Edwards, making it a 5-round co-main?
Potentially.
Oh, that's all right. That fight ain't going to see 5 rounds anyway.
No, but I mean, that's old. I don't think you just immediately give Conor McGregor a fucking all the showcase of being the main event. I don't think you do.
Not after not after the second Poirier fight.
Right?
No way, man. This guy. It's now time to prove something.
Sure.
That's right.
That's exactly right, Miles.
Thank you, Miles. So let's I'm just going to run down some quick headlines here.
Okay.
See what we got going on here. Let's see. Of course, we got the Dillashaw-Sandhagen fight coming up in a little bit.
Man, welcome back to the fucking UFC. That's TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, dude, that is a fight no one's talking about, but I feel like is the most exciting fight of the year so far.
Corey Sandhagen, man, if that guy gets that 135, if he's able to get himself into that contention.
Yeah.
Get that strap. Ain't nobody taking it from that man for a long time.
Darren Till had to pull out of the Vettori fight on the 10th because he broke his collarbone. He is a stupid limey Brit.
Yeah, I don't understand all the support that he gets for being this fucking just world killer of a fighter. He's not.
Yeah.
He's proven himself to be less than adequate against the cream of the crop.
And now he's at 185. That's why this news is pretty great. Kevin Holland talked about bumping up to 185.
Make that fight.
That dude's fighting Vettori on the 10th.
Okay.
Which I like that move for Kevin Holland. The quicker he gets back into the octagon, the quicker he'll be able to wash that shitty sour taste out of everyone's mouth from that last fight. That dude, he just wasn't in it. He wasn't in it, man.
The problem I have is this, though, is that I have a love-hate relationship with Dana White. That's one of the few presidents of an organization, an athletic organization, that will fucking be a straight shooter with you on a post-fight interview. You know, if somebody will ask him some question, he'll go, "What the fuck? Are you watching the same fight I watched?" You know, I mean, he'll be very frank with people.
Right.
But he's also a little shitty. to come out and say that he thought maybe Jones is a little scared. Fuck off. He'd also said Kevin Holland had a mental breakdown in that fight. I don't think so. I mean, clearly the dude was overmatched.
That fucking guy should keep his mouth shut about MMA. Plain and simple, dude.
Dana?
Dana and I'm also thinking like Stephen A. Smith.
That guy needs to have...
Yeah.
Dana, hey, man, that's the
like
guy...
Stephen A. Smith echoes Dana White's remarks.
I think he's unnecessary. But ESPN wants their guy, and Stephen A. Smith is the company man.
They have their guy. His name is Chael Sonnen.
Well,
he's on the bank. You have the best guy to talk about MMA right now.
ESPN likes to have an army, a cadre, as it were, of fucking broadcasters that are out there. And it doesn't matter if they're all saying the same shit or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They want people to watch and go, wow, they got all these people. Which really, to me, that's the fucking worst thing.
Yeah. Khabib says about Dana White, quote,
Khabib.
Sometimes he's not very nice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fucking.
That's not news.
Some breaking news for you.
Eddie Alvarez thinks if he wins the lightweight one belt, it'll make him the lightweight GOAT.
No. Of all promotions?
I got to admit, even winning that one belt, yeah. I mean, if you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT.
Yeah, but if you're going to be the GOAT, you better be in the UFC.
And you won the belt, didn't successfully defend it.
No.
There are hash marks that need to be hit. Fallon Fox. Do you recall this name? Fallon Fox.
Sounds familiar. Where's that from?
Transgender MMA.
Okay, yeah. The man who cut his dick off and went out and started beating up women.
Now, yeah. Apparently she wants to cancel Joe Rogan for his, quote, transphobic remarks.
Good fucking luck. Because Joe Rogan's always been opposed to guys fighting women.
And he said this shit 3 years ago.
Sure. Now, is there some times that he's maybe stepped just a little over the line? Just a little?
Well, that's a problem when you start to make a good point, but you're also a comedian.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it does go back to the when they were talking about, this is before Cyborg even joined the UFC. And, they were talking about, because Ronda Rousey was sitting at 135 in the women's bantamweight division, just holding that fucking title. Well, until Amanda Nunes came along. But she was the greatest of all time at that moment. And Cyborg, that's when they kept trying to figure out a way to make that fight. And Cyborg's like, I can't make 135, but I can make 140. And they're like, we're not going to make a goddamn catchweight fight just so you can fight Ronda Rousey. It's not going to happen. And you're
little do they know, they probably could have pulled that off and made bank.
Yeah, maybe, but they
wouldn't have affected titles on anybody's side. It would have just been a fight if Ronda got blasted, which she would have.
She would have. But the problem is this: is that Dana then and Dana now wouldn't make that fight. That has to be a title fight. And if she can't make the weight, she can't make the weight. But Rogan at the time had said, and this is like what, 5 years ago now, something like that, 6 years ago. Shit, it's been a while. But there was a fight card that they did in Vegas, and Rogan was flying back to L.A. with Tony Hinchcliffe and Dana White. Yeah. And Dana was like absent for most of the podcast. But so he did the Joe Rogan Experience from 50,000 feet or whatever.
Pretty dope.
And they both had made the joke that Cyborg could make the weight if she'd cut that dick off. And she got a little angry about it, understandably so, and everything else.
For sure.
And he actually came out and apologized for it because that is over the line. But if you're saying that if you were a man and now you're a woman, you shouldn't be allowed to fight women, though.
No, because it's not like you get to remove that muscle mass and replace it with female muscle mass.
Yeah, you've had, testosterone pumping in your system since day one?
Yeah.
Or, since age of 12.
You're just beating up girls.
Yeah.
You're beating up girls.
Oh, yeah, Andy Kaufman, but in a far less, fucking less funny way.
Yeah, no shit. At least Jerry Lawler smacked him clean in the mouth.
Right.
Well, there are no fights tomorrow.
Hey!
Looks like it'll be more drinking.
Yeah, that's I got to put my foot down there, right?
Shall we get to picks?
Let's get to the picks. What you drinking?
Bud Heavy.
Bud what? Oh, Bud Heavy.
Bud Heavy.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I might have me a little snooter of that rye.
Maybe a little rye
good.
later.
International Whiskey Day last Friday. That was pretty dope.
Yeah,
tasty.
Yeah, we all threw down a little shot of that. You and Ruben on the rye, and me with my children's whiskey. But yeah.
Fireball is a children's whiskey.
If you're going to make me drink a shot, it's going to be Fireball. I'm not shooting rye. I'm just not.
It is an easy one to shoot. It's weird. Let's see some metal. What are you jamming, brother?
Wow, Days of the New. That seems to be a recurring theme, huh?
I'm gonna go Steve Winwood. Higher Love.
Back to the High Life. Oh, yeah, Higher Love. Oh,
That's a tough call. That is a tough call.
not really. They're all shitty.
Either one will be followed by Midnight Rider.
Let's see. No fights. I was going to ask what's your favorite knockout so far in 2021, but man, it's barely even April.
Joaquin Buckley still.
Yeah, which unfortunately, I mean, that guy is going to be like
Stipe
a Houston.
he's
going to be like a Houston Alexander, right? That guy's
well, I want to see how he rebounds after this loss because I mean, he kind of had not the same thing done to him, but he got dusted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit, man. 2 weeks from now should be a pretty special podcast.
Yeah, we'll have Brett around for that one, right? We're going to do a podcast with Brett, the third of our little three-man little crew over here. And then the week after that, we've got a pay-per-view. So what we're going to do, podcast this week. 2 weeks from now, we'll do another one. And then we're going to do another one the week after that.
Back-to-backer.
Yeah.
Like the old days.
Yeah, like the olden days. All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Drink hardy, my friends. Don't do anything fucking too wacky. If you
Keep
know
that blood sugar as high as you can.
If you know LJ, definitely look up his mumble rap, and
yeah, no shit.
Probably definitely worth a listen there.
On a quick closer, someone told us to fuck off on one of our older episodes of calling where the title is Yari Menopause Still a Dick.
Oh, good.
That's going to be the cover for this picture. Hope you enjoy it.
That warms my heart. That warms.
Oh, yeah.
We're not putting Treet on the fucking cover for this one.
We want people to actually listen.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Hey, catch you cats in a couple weeks. Don't do anything too fucking wacky, right?